Do you ever go to the doctor and forget what you want to talk about? Do you ever have unexpected pain, but a month or two later forget about it at your next doctor appointment? Yeah, me too. Well, that actually is until I figured out about keeping a pain journal. So right now, I want you to pause this, grab a pencil, grab some paper, because you're going to want to take notes. Now, those of us who live with chronic pain and who are willing to keep a pain journal or log or a diary of some sort can truly provide invaluable assistance to our pain management doctor and our GP doctor. These journals can help your doctor to diagnose the actual source of the pain, and this will help your doctor to put together a therapy or medication or some sort of remedy to help you to manage your pain. And it actually really doesn't matter if you've been dealing with chronic pain for many years or if you're just brand new to it. Maybe you just hurt yourself. The pain log is where you're going to want to write down everything about your pain. So before we get into anything, I want to look at some of the benefits of keeping a pain log. So there's just a few, but I'm telling you, man, that makes all the difference in the world. So it can help you to remember what, when, where, etc., that the pain has been since your last doctor's appointment. It can definitely uncover any changes in your current condition. And it can help you to recognize certain triggers or flare-ups that make it worse, maybe like food, or weather, those of us who have some joint issues, physical activity. It can really pinpoint some emotional problems that may occur or are becoming a problem because of the pain. It can shed a ton of light on side effects from medication and then help the doctor to make any adjustments that he may need to make. Now, one of the huge benefits to keeping a pain log is it can illuminate any patterns in your pain. Now, this is really important because we can see time and day, food allergies, stressors, etc., that can be causing you the pain or making it get out of control. All those little tiny things, they can make a difference. And for those of us who are not great communicators, it can give us a way to communicate to our doctor and better help answer some of the questions that they may ask us. Or I shouldn't say may, they always ask. And overall, it helps us, it helps us to have a sense of control over, well, our own health, our own sense of well-being. But honestly, the question that you should be asking now is, what do I write down? So let me run down 7 really simple main things that you should be journaling about. And here is where you're going to want to pick up that pencil and paper to take notes. So number 1, each day's entry should have the date and the time. That's pretty simple. Number 2, you should have a pain scale rating of some sort. So typically you want to stick with what the doctors do, which is a 1 through 10 pain scale, where 1 is I feel nothing and 10 is, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. Give me something. Just knock me out. All right. Number 3, there should be some sort of sleep rating scale as well. Now, if you don't know, you should know that sleep can greatly affect your pain level. It can affect your mood. It can affect depression. It can affect stress and so forth. So keeping track of your sleep by having a scale 1 through 10, again, meaning 1 hour through 10 hours of sleep. And if you get more than 10 hours of sleep, wow, that's great. Or is it? Right? All right. Number 4. You should be recording your activity level and throughout the day. Continue with a 1 through 10 scale here. And in this case, it would be where 1 is, I didn't lift a finger, I sat on my butt all day. And 10 being that you ran a marathon. And if you're running a marathon, good job. Number 5, you want to make sure you are making a notation of what area in your body in which you felt the pain. So this could just be writing it down, saying, oh, I felt it in my wrist or whatever. Or you could have a little body that you draw out and put little dots on the body of where that pain is or circle it. Number 6. Now, make sure you're also jotting down the time of day that there is any kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Acute pain, with, of course, the area that it was at, and describe the level of pain. And here's where you want to put something like, I went for a walk, I stepped on a rock and now my ankle hurts, or I drank coffee, right? And now this is causing you your migraines. Or for those of us with joint pain, maybe it was something like it was very cold and raining out. So, now this is causing you more joint pain. You also want to have an area where you are going to be describing some of the following things. Now, this is a little bit more, this should be more like 8, 9, 10, 11, but it really is all part of number 7. So you want to describe how long the pain lasted. Did the pain interrupt the day? Describing the type of pain. You want to use really descriptive words here. Acute, throbbing, pulsing, tingling, burning, whatever. And whether or not the pain moved around too. This is really important because I know for me, sometimes it can be, I'm going to take the pain that I get in my neck. Sometimes it's right here in my neck, but it can really move up and across my head. Sometimes it can be behind the eye. So you want to make sure that you are making a notation of that. Also, you want to note if you did anything or took anything which made the pain better. So maybe you took your pain medication and now you're feeling better. Made the pain go away altogether and your scale level was at a 6 and now you're down to a 2. So you want to make notes of that. And you want to write down all your observations as to whether or not there were any other symptoms that went along with this pain. And then, of course, we definitely want to describe our mood before and after the pain came on. Now, remember, the more precise you are, the better. And I know you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm in pain in the same spot every single day. Gotcha, me too. But it's okay. Log it, because I bet you when you start paying better attention to your pain, the more you might find out that there are several days you did not realize you had inflammation and it was slowing you down. Or maybe the day you went to the mall, you had more pain than normal, but you typically took a pain pill, so you felt better, right? But now that you're logging, you're taking more time to pay attention to your pain. You're like, wait a minute. I went for a walk around the block and that was really painful. But when I walked on dirt, that wasn't. Okay. So make sure that you write it down. And even if you think it's the same all day long, and don't feel like you have to make a journal entry every single hour. That's okay. You don't have to do that. I want you to think about writing in your pain journal, your pain level, maybe 2 to 4 times a day. You definitely do it when you wake up. Maybe at lunchtime, maybe at the hump hour, 3 o'clock or so, and before bed. Okay, so this is new to you and you're saying, well, that's a bit overwhelming. Well, all right, consider just starting with just once a day at the end of the day. Keep it on your nightstand and right before you go to bed. However, I will say that the more you can log, the better this will give you and your doctor great insight into your pain throughout the day. Now, the journal that you use should work for you and your personality. You can log your pain information into a spiral notebook. That's fine. You can get a nice fancy leather journal and a brand new pen, beautiful one, and log it in there. Or a pain diary like the one that I made can work for you. I will put a link to my pain diary that I made for myself that I ended up producing and putting out on Amazon because I thought it works so well for me. I'll try to pay it forward. So if you'd like, you can pick one up for yourself, or if you have a loved one who's dealing with chronic pain, pick one up for them just to give them a head start on logging their pain. Also, speaking of loved ones, because some of you may have picked up on this video because your husband, your wife, your mother, your kid is dealing with chronic pain, so consider sharing this video with them as well so that they can understand the benefits of logging their pain. I want to talk about my journal and why journaling works so well for me. So I made this journal originally for myself, and I take it along with me to my monthly pain management appointments to this day. And it has been a great asset to my visits for helping me to remember things that were going on throughout the month, but may have stopped by the time I actually went to my doctor's appointment. You know how that is, right? I have a pain in my catussus and whatever that is, and now it's all of a sudden gone and you forget about it. But by logging on a daily basis, it gives me that reminder. Now, I will say that before my appointments, I always look over my pain journal entries. And then what I do is I take a little sticky note and flag the days that were out of the ordinary, and then I will go over them before my appointment so that I am more aware of how that month went. Let me tell you, this has really made me much more aware of my body, the foods that cause more pain and inflammation, and really, honestly, just an overall awareness of how my chronic pain ebbs and flows. All right, I mentioned that it's important to start a food log. And I know that that's a hard one for a lot of people. Constantly writing down what you eat, and especially if you might have an eating disorder, that can really be a hard one too. But for someone who's dealing with chronic pain, the reason for this is when you have onset of pain or inflammation for a few days, this gives you a way to look back and see what you ate for that day, which might have made it worse. So maybe you're not a soda drinker usually, but you went out 3 days in a row, and each time you had soda. And now all of a sudden, you're dealing with chronic pain, more so, or you're dealing with inflammation. Well, now you know, it was the soda. How about cheese? Cheese is chronically known for inflammation. And maybe you had cheese for 2 days in a row, and all of a sudden you have inflammation for 5 days. You can look back and go, oh, that's why. Or maybe too much alcohol or whatever. It really is a valuable thing to be able to look back at your food. Now, I'm going to grab my notes here real quick. Sorry. All right, because this guy says it all. Harvard Health Medical and Dr. Fred Tabung, I hope I said it right, who's a researcher with the Department of Nutrition and Harvard School of Public Health. Whew, that is a mouthful. All right. He says, what does he say? I lost my place. Okay. He says that the food you eat can determine how well your body fights inflammation. It's been said that you are what you eat, and that's definitely true when it comes to chronic pain. A lot of chronic pain is a result of chronic inflammation, and the evidence is quite strong that your diet can contribute to increased systematic inflammation. But your diet is also one of the best ways to reduce it. Whoa, that's said well. Well, when we first start dealing with our injuries before the chronic pain sets in, guess what our body does? It protects itself. And with what? Come on, say it with me. Inflammation. And typically that inflammation goes away as you start to heal and so forth. However, when you're dealing with someone who has chronic issues, chronic migraines, chronic back pain, chronic ankle pain, joint pain, whatever, this inflammation stays with us, which unfortunately over time damages our healthy cells, our organs. It can cause high blood pressure, heart disease, which my mom passed away from that. It can cause diabetes, and it can even cause some cancers. This is why keeping track of what food we are eating and our inflammation and our pain level can drastically help us in the long run. We can finally find out that that yummy thing that we've been eating for years and years that never gave us any problem is now an inflammatory junk food, even if it's a healthy food. Now look, overall, logging your pain is one of the simplest acts you can take in helping yourself and even possibly healing your chronic pain. Wait, of course, that depends on why you're experiencing this pain. If you're experiencing the pain because of a hurt joint or something, you might not be able to heal it completely, but you can certainly reduce the pain. Truly, I'm telling you, it doesn't have to cost any money or a very under $10 for you to start just a few minutes a day to start logging that pain. If you're like me, I'm always trying to figure out how to feel better, how to make my chronic pain less, how to communicate best with my doctor. I want to feel better. And I'm always reading articles, always reading books. My pain and food diary has helped me more than anything else over the years. It has helped me to know which foods cause inflammation, as well as which activities that I need to stay away from. And I highly recommend, if you are dealing with chronic pain, to start logging your pain today. Save this video so you can go back and write down what I said earlier to write down, what to log, and or even consider sharing that with a family or a friend who's dealing with pain. And again, I'll share the link to my pain journal in the description so you don't have to worry about what to log, and you can start logging it right away and bring it to your next doctor's appointment. I'm telling you, this will make a total game changer in your chronic pain. How you deal with it, how your doctor deals with it, and how you can heal it. I'm Kristen Nitz with Big Bone and Broken. Please hit the like button to help me with my algorithm. Hit the notification and the subscription button. But until next time, stay healthy, stay happy, and stay wise.